Hi, I'm Steve from Timber West Design, and today I'm going to show you how to make this. Doesn't this look amazing? I can't wait to show you how we do this. We're going to build this from scratch, from 3D modeling, 3D printing a mold, to concrete casting, to painting, putting it all together. I can't wait to show you how to do it. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. You'll need some Cementol concrete mix. You'll need a bucket to mix it in. You'll need a weight to mix it in the bucket. I love this drill mixer with my drill. You're going to need a scale. It's a 4:1 ratio of Cementol to water, so you need a way to measure that out. You're going to need a mold. A spatula is always helpful. I'll have links to all of these in the description. Once the concrete is done, we're going to prime it. So I like this primer. We're going to need some sandpaper and spot putty. I like to use a guide coat for that. This is going to be our finished color. Then I like two fuel sources we're going to try. We're going to do this gel fuel. We're going to do this bioethanol fuel, and I need a container to put the bioethanol fuel in. Then we've got this fire pit glass that we're going to put around the fuel canister. Every good project starts out with a good design. I want to make this thing an oval shape, 350 millimeters long and 200 millimeters wide. Then we're going to go to the lofting sketch. You're going to see kind of the shape of what it's going to look like there. We'll thicken it. There's the basic bowl. Now I've cut the curve into it. We've added the top mold. I've got to cut this in half because my 3D printer can only do half at a time. So there's the top half of the mold with the rest of the flanges. And there is the complete mold. So with all the bolt holes so they can bolt together. We have a top mold, we have the bottom mold. The middle here is where the concrete will go. It'll actually get poured upside down like this. We'll pour into the top, and that'll be our mold. So now we're going to send this file to the 3D printer. Watching the 3D printer in action is always fascinating. It layers the design with incredible precision, turning a digital concept into a physical object. This process ensures our mold is accurate and durable and ready to handle the weight of the concrete. The molds are hot off the press from the 3D printer, so we have two halves for the inner section that will get bolted together. We have two halves for the outer section that will get bolted together. In order to calculate how much Cementol we're going to need for this project, we put the mold on a scale and we're going to fill it full of water and see how much that weighs. And we are 1,754 grams. So I've taken the mold apart again. We need to put some mold release on here. I like to use this canola oil, and I like to put it in a box to kind of contain the spray a little bit. We just need a light coat, nothing too heavy. Just get a good, decent covering. And we'll do both sections, inside and out, and then we're going to bolt this thing back together. We have the mold put back together. We have some mold release in there. I have the cement all mixed. I have my water, have my mixer. So the formula to calculate how much water you need is we had 1,754 grams of water. We times that by 1.88. It comes up to 3,297 grams, 3,297. We take 25% of that, which is a 4:1 ratio for the water, and that's 824 grams of water. This is more concrete than I like to mix indoors. You do not want to breathe this dust, so let's take it outside for the mix and we'll come back in. So I'm going to pour most of my water in, not all of it. I want this to be based more on consistency. We want a pancake batter consistency. So let's see what we get here. I think we've got all the lumps out. It's looking pretty good. Let's take it back and pour it. Here we go. Still got a few small lumps in there, but I think we're going to be just fine. Just got to fill it up to the brim. And that looks good to me. Picture this. It's Christmas morning. The kids are excited. The toys are ready. And you forgot the batteries. Classic rookie mistake, right? Not anymore. Pale blue batteries to the rescue. These rechargeable batteries charge fast and are always ready for action. Unlike me after Christmas dinner. No more scrambling for overpriced batteries at the last minute. With pale blue batteries, I save money and the environment. This year, don't let dead batteries ruin your holiday magic. Get pale blue batteries and power up Christmas the smart way. It's been about 3 hours. Let's take the bolts off. I've got all the bolts off. This is the most exciting part for the first pull. There's some good draft on here. This is just gonna pull easily. There's that section. That pulls right off there. Now let's pull, whoa, that just came right out. Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. There's a lot of moisture in this still. It's only been 3 hours since we poured it. You need to let the water evaporate out of it, a day or two at least. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and then we'll prime this. So it's been a day or two since we've pulled it. I'm getting this ready to prime. There are some little details that we have to sand and clean up. I like to use some 150 sandpaper and just clean up some edges, where the parting lines are. You can use just some sandpaper like this. You can use a block and you can sand it with a block. I also have this cool little sander that works really well, and you just kind of sand along and clean some stuff up. So whatever works for you, just depends on what materials you have. But bottom line is you just want to get this ready and smooth for primer. Now we're going to use a primer. It does a nice job of filling some of the small defects, and it's sandable. So we're going to take it now to this level where this is primed, and I've used this spot putty to fill some of the pinholes and some small defects. Now I'm going to sand the spot putty and get it ready for one more coat of primer. So you sand that down, get it smooth, sanding with 150, and then you want to do that all the way around, and then you'll prime it again. And then you'll end up with this. With this one, I will sand this with 150 lightly. It's pretty smooth right now, so a light 150, finish it off with the 220. So on some of my previous projects, I've done a heavy texture paint. So that means you don't need to finish it quite as fine as if you're gonna do a smooth paint job. So if you're gonna go for a smooth job with more paint like this, you're gonna see the defects that the texture paint's gonna hide. And so you've got to really sand it nice and get it smooth. So that's why we're going for a really nice finish on this one. Here's a trick you can do when priming. On that gray primer, it's kind of hard to see sometimes where the pinholes are. So you do what's called a guide coat. You take some flat black paint, just lightly fog it on here. Then when you take some sandpaper, you can easily see where the low spots are. And you can either sand that out or you can fill one more time if needed, but it's just a quick, easy way to see how good your finish is going to be. I think this paint job turned out awesome. I used this matte hammered from Rust-Oleum. It turned out really good. I really like this paint. It lays on nicely. So our next step is we're going to put a fire gel inside. Now you got to take the label off. This is a fire gel fuel. So we're going to put a can in here, take the label off. We're going to take this fire pit glass and just kind of fill this bowl up. I think that looks pretty darn good. A little bit more here. Fill it in and let's light it. This is awesome. I love it. So another fuel alternative is you can do this bioethanol fuel. It's a liquid. We'll light it. It's kind of hard to see. It's going in the daylight, but that's got a flame about there. There we go. Now it's showing better. So there's your two fuel sources for this project. I'm going to use this vessel for a couple more episodes. We're going to do some variations on this project. So stay tuned and find out what we're going to do next. I'll see you next time.